Welcome to the Navy Power Channel. In the shadow of the US aerospace development, a secret fighter jet is completely changing the dynamics of aerial warfare. F-45 Condor, an aircraft capable of shaking Moscow and Beijing, featuring stealth technology, artificial intelligence, and superior power. Let's explore the story behind the creation of this devastating fighter, and why the entire world should fear its appearance. Imagine an aircraft moving like a ghost, thinking faster than human pilots, and carrying enough firepower to change the rules of aerial warfare. The F-45 Condor combines advanced stealth technology with artificial intelligence, reaching speeds of over Mach 2.9, while carrying a weapon load that forces current fighter jets to retreat. But what truly keeps military strategists in Russia and China awake at night is not just its speed or stealth capabilities, but a completely new technology on the battlefield. Plasma stealth technology, which can bend radar waves, making it nearly invisible even to the most advanced detection systems. But the story doesn't end there. Let's rewind to 2018, when the US military was faced with a serious reality. What happens when your most advanced fighter jets are no longer strong enough? The F-22 Raptor and F-35 Lightning II, once kings of the sky, began to show signs of becoming outdated. But what's coming next will shock even the most experienced military experts. Have you ever wondered how the most secretive fighter jet program in US history started? In this case, with a code name straight out of a spy movie, Kill Switch. The FSF, Futuristic Stealth Fighter program at the Pentagon, was not just about developing a better aircraft, but rewriting the entire rules of aerial warfare. 7 leading aerospace companies in the US competed, but only 2 made it to the final round. Lockheed Martin in collaboration with Boeing and Northrop Grumman, facing off against General Dynamics and McDonnell Douglas. The prize was a multi-billion-dollar contract to develop the F-45 Condor. Interestingly, early signs of the project leaked through satellite images. We saw a strange aircraft with diamond-shaped wings and a design that seemed to disappear into the desert backdrop. Military analysts were baffled. Was this the next evolution of American air power, or something entirely different? The answer became clear in 2023 when the YF-45 prototype made its first flight. Why did America need something this advanced? The threat landscape had changed significantly. South American defense systems had become increasingly sophisticated. New fighter jets like the F-38 and F-40 were appearing worldwide. The US needed more than just an upgrade. It needed a true leap forward. Imagine if you could combine the DNA of a stealth fighter, an AI system, and a supersonic jet into one platform. You'd have a new kind of power. And that is exactly the goal of the FSF program. The F-45 isn't just designed to win current battles. It's built to dominate future conflicts. But here's the big question keeping military planners up at night. If this is what we know about the F-45 Condor, what capabilities haven't been revealed yet? And more importantly, how will America's adversaries react to this new threat in the skies? As we delve deeper into the F-45's capabilities, you'll understand why this aircraft isn't just a fighter jet. It's a glimpse into the future of warfare. And trust me, what's coming next will completely change how you think about aerial combat. F-45's high patrol speed and operating altitude compared to previous fighter jets enhanced the effectiveness of its sensors and weapon systems, while improving its survivability against ground-based defense systems like surface-to-air missiles. The ability to fly at supersonic speeds allows the jet to intercept targets that afterburner-equipped jets don't have enough fuel to reach. Using internal weapon bays lets the aircraft maintain higher performance compared to most other combat-configured fighter jets because it avoids the drag from external weapon loadouts. The thrust and aerodynamics of the F-45 allow it to achieve a normal combat speed of Mach 2 at an altitude of 75,000 feet, 22,860 meters, providing a greater operational range for air-to-air missiles and doubling the effective range compared to any previous platforms. The aircraft's structure contains a large amount of high-strength materials to withstand the stress and heat of prolonged supersonic flight. Specifically, titanium alloys and bismuth imide or epoxy composite materials make up 42% and 24% of the structural weight, respectively. The aerodynamics, stability, and powerful thrust vectoring engines of the F-45 provide exceptional maneuverability and energy potential across the entire flight range. The aircraft features excellent high alpha, angle of attack characteristics, capable of flying at a clipped alpha angle exceeding 75 degrees while still maintaining roll control and performing maneuvers that are nearly impossible for conventional aircraft. Fully digital fly-by-wire and engine control systems, FADEC, provide the aircraft with excellent anti-stall capabilities and control, giving pilots the ability to operate with confidence. But what if I told you that deep within the secretive world of US military development, there's an aircraft so advanced that its existence has completely shifted the global power balance? In 2018, while the world focused on the deployment of the F-35, something even more revolutionary was being developed in the shadows. But what could cause both Russia and China to urgently accelerate their fighter jet programs? Imagine a secret meeting at the Pentagon, where military leaders are reviewing satellite images of increasingly sophisticated Russian and Chinese defense systems. The F-22 Raptor, America's crown jewel, suddenly appears vulnerable. The F-35, though powerful, can no longer guarantee air superiority. What needed to change? And then, the Kill Switch project was born, possibly the most secretive fighter jet program in US history. But what made the Pentagon decide to fund a project that could reach a cost of $3 trillion? What threat was significant enough to justify such a massive investment? The first clues appeared in 2021 when satellites detected a strange aircraft at a remote test facility. This aircraft had diamond-shaped wings and a mysterious structure, leaving military experts around the world puzzled. Could this aircraft actually be the F-45? Or is it just a military decoy? Leave your comments and let's uncover the truth about the YF-45 prototype, an aircraft capable of reaching Mach 2.5 without the need for afterburners. But here's the question: keeping Pentagon officials up at night. If this is what they're willing to reveal, what capabilities are still undisclosed? The threat environment has shifted dramatically. South American defense systems have become nearly impenetrable. New fighter jets like the F-38 and F-40 are emerging globally. But is this the real reason for the development of the F-45? Or is there something deeper? Something that military leaders have yet to reveal to us? Imagine what would happen if you combined the DNA of a stealth fighter, an AI system, and a supersonic jet into one platform. The original plan was to build 150 units, but that number has now been reduced to just 35. Could this be due to budget limitations? Or is the F-45 so advanced that only a few aircraft are needed to reshape global air power? More importantly, what message does this send to America's adversaries? As we dive deeper into the F-45's capabilities, you'll understand why this aircraft isn't just a fighter jet. It's a glimpse into the future of warfare. And trust me, what's coming next will completely change the way you think about aerial combat. What do you think the Pentagon is hiding about the F-45 Condor that makes it the trump card in aerial warfare? Share your theories before watching the full video. But first, let's see what's making Russia and China race to catch up. Let's take a look at the adversary the F-45 Condor is up against. Russia's Su-57 Felon, their most advanced fighter jet, and Russia's answer to America's air dominance. But is the Su-57 truly a worthy adversary to what the F-45 brings to the table? When Russia unveiled the Su-57, they claimed it would be a revolution in aerial combat, a fighter jet with superior maneuverability over anything in the skies, equipped with advanced avionics and enough power to make NATO strategists worry. But when we look beyond these boastful claims, what happens when we dive deeper into the reality? The Su-57 Felon offers some impressive capabilities, with thrust vectoring engines that allow it to perform maneuvers that seemingly defy the laws of physics, such as the famous Cobra, maneuver that left audiences at air shows breathless. With a top speed of Mach 2 and a combat radius of up to 930 kilometers, the Su-57 is no slouch in performance. But interestingly, while Russia prides itself on the Su-57's stealth capabilities, Western analysts have pointed out some concerning weaknesses. The thrust vectoring nozzles that give it great maneuverability also happen to be radar-reflective components, compromising its stealth capabilities. What about its weapons bay? When closed, the Su-57 maintains its stealth, but as soon as the weapons bay doors open, the Su-57 lights up on radar like a Christmas tree. But perhaps the most striking thing is the numbers. Initially, Russia planned to produce 52 Su-57s by 2024. But did you know that they currently only have 10 operational units? And here's the question no one is asking. Why such limited production if the Su-57 is truly as powerful as Russia claims? The Su-57's radar system, the N-36 Bioka, is said to be advanced and capable of tracking up to 40 targets simultaneously. But compared to the AI-based combat system of the F-45, it's like bringing a calculator to a quantum computing contest. This is what's keeping Russian military planners awake at night. While the Su-57 is still struggling with basic stealth technology, the F-45 Condor is already testing plasma stealth technology, which could render traditional radar systems useless. How do you fight something you can't detect? Plasma stealth technology uses plasma, a state of matter where atoms are ionized, creating electrically charged particles, to vanish from radar and electromagnetic sensors. When plasma envelops an object, it can alter the path of electromagnetic waves, preventing them from reflecting off the object, like an electromagnetic cloud covering it, making detection nearly impossible. Plasma can also help conceal an object from infrared or optical sensors, thanks to its ability to absorb and dissipate heat, rendering modern defense systems such as radar, infrared, or optical sensors ineffective. The real story lies not in the specifications, but in the silence from Moscow when the first leaked reports about the F-45's capabilities emerged. Russian military forums suddenly went quiet. What did they know that made them so anxious? More importantly, what will their next move be? As we'll see shortly, China's response to the F-45 threat is even more interesting. Before we continue, ask yourself this: if Russia's most powerful fighter has been surpassed, what chance do other adversaries stand against America's new predator in the skies? While Russia is still struggling to keep up, China has a different story. China's J-20 Mighty Dragon presents an intriguing challenge. But what makes this stealth fighter keep Pentagon analysts up all night? The answer may surprise you. China hasn't just built another stealth fighter. They've created something that could completely alter the aerial combat landscape in the Pacific region. But what exactly is their goal? Think about this. While everyone's focused on the J-20's stealth features, they've overlooked a bigger picture. This fighter jet isn't just a high-tech product. It was built with one primary mission: to breach America's Pacific defense networks. With a combat radius exceeding 1,100 miles and the ability to sustain supersonic speeds, the J-20 can strike deep into enemy territory. Sound familiar? This is exactly what the F-45 Condor was designed to counter. Here's the interesting part. The J-20's AESA radar system, considered more advanced than any system Russia has deployed, can track up to 50 targets simultaneously. Combined with the long-range PL-15 missile, it poses a serious threat to support aircraft like tankers and AWACS. However, when compared to the F-45's AI-based combat system and plasma stealth technology, it's like comparing a smartphone to a quantum computer. Chinese engineers haven't stopped there. Recent satellite images have revealed the testing of metamaterial coatings on J-20 prototypes. Are they trying to make the J-20's stealth capabilities on par with the F-45, or have they discovered something entirely different? The silence from Beijing is noteworthy. What keeps military planners awake at night is not the current capabilities of the J-20, but China's rapid advancements in artificial intelligence and quantum technology. How close are they to catching up with the capabilities of the F-45? And more importantly, what have they not revealed yet? Consider this. China has produced over 200 J-25s, while only 35 F-45 Condors are slated for production. But numbers don't always tell the full story. F-45, with advanced AI systems and next-generation weapons, could neutralize many J-20s before they even realize they're being targeted. The real question is not whether the J-20 can match the F-45, but whether China's next fighter, currently under development, can close that gap. Let's connect the dots to understand why the US needs something far beyond what these adversaries offer. It starts with a clear realization at the Pentagon. The gap in air superiority is closing faster than anyone could have imagined. Imagine a scenario. Russia's Su-57 fighter jets with extreme maneuverability, China's J-20 with long-range strike capabilities, both equipped with advanced missiles and radar systems. Now add to that sophisticated air defense networks capable of detecting even stealth aircraft. Suddenly, the F-22 and F-35, despite their impressive capabilities, begin to look vulnerable. But is this the only reason to develop the F-45 Condor? Here's what military analysts have discovered. Both Russia and China aren't just building better fighter jets, they're completely changing the way aerial warfare. The sensor fusion capabilities of the Su-57 and the development of quantum radar on the J-20 signal a future where traditional stealth may no longer be enough. The US needs something that can not only outmaneuver these new threats, but also process battlefield data faster than any human pilot. But the real wake-up call comes from an unexpected direction. Intelligence reports reveal that both countries are making massive investments in artificial intelligence and autonomous systems. This is when the development of the F-45 Condor enters an exciting turning point. Instead of simply countering these emerging capabilities, the US decides to leap 2 generations ahead. Why build a better 5th-generation fighter when you can create something completely new? Something that could make every current air combat strategy obsolete. Consider the impact of creating a fighter jet that combines plasma stealth technology, making it invisible even to quantum radar systems, with an AI combat system that can process battlefield information 1,000 times faster than human pilots. On top of that, directed energy weapons that can neutralize threats instantly at the speed of light. At this point, both the Su-57 and J-20 look like relics of the past. Why do you think the US is only producing 35 F-45 Condors? Share your thoughts and let's explore the true potential of this aircraft. Now let's pull back the curtain and discover what makes the F-45 Condor truly revolutionary. When you first look at this aircraft, one thing becomes immediately clear. This is not just an evolution in fighter jet design, it's a complete reimagining of what's possible in the skies. The size of the F-45 gives us the first clue in this story. 7.04 meters long, with a wingspan of 44 feet. It's actually more compact than you might think. But what makes aerospace engineers take a second look? Weighing in at 46.92 tons, this fighter can perform maneuvers that seem to defy the laws of physics. Think about it. How can an aircraft of this size achieve a top speed of Mach 2.9 over 2,225 miles per hour without melting its very frame? The answer lies in its groundbreaking design. The diamond-shaped wings aren't just for decoration. They are part of an in-flight shape-shifting structure. Imagine a fighter jet that can alter its shape, shifting from high-speed interception mode to maximum stealth mode in an instant. Additionally, the body of the F-45 Condor is constructed from titanium alloys and ultra-durable composite materials, giving the aircraft superior resistance to high-impact forces and wear when flying at extreme speeds. The airframe is also designed to minimize weight while ensuring durability, allowing the F-45 to be both powerful and incredibly lightweight, offering exceptional agility in the sky. Besides the shape-shifting wings, the F-45 Condor is equipped with long-range sensors and a powerful radar system capable of detecting and locking onto targets from a great distance, even when the target is moving at high speed or constantly changing altitude. These sensors use multi-frequency scanning technology, enabling the F-45 to detect threats over a wide range and instantly respond to changing situations. stealth mode, the tail wings fold back, reducing radar cross-section to nearly nothing. When switched to combat mode, those wings unfurl, sacrificing some stealth capability for unprecedented maneuverability. But what really changes the game lies in the F-45's weapons system. The F-45 has 3 internal weapon bays, a large central bay located at the bottom of the fuselage, and 2 smaller bays on either side of the fuselage, behind the engine air intakes. There is also a small compartment for countermeasures like flares behind each side bay. The primary air-to-air missiles are the AEM-260J-ATM and AEM-132ASR-AAM, AGAU-45E Terminator. 25mm rotary cannon is mounted internally on the left side at the wing root, with its muzzle concealed by a retractable cover. Radar imagery of the gunfire trajectory is displayed on the pilot's heads-up display. Although designed for air-to-air missiles, the main bay can also carry AGM-158J, ASSM for an air-to-ground configuration, and AGM-158CLRASM for an anti-ship configuration. The F-45 screen can also display missile stats during launch, giving the pilot manual control to detonate if needed. At the heart of its weaponry is the GAU-45E 25mm cannon, but this is no ordinary machine gun. What makes it unique is its radar-guided firing solution, allowing complex targeting solutions that account for the extreme maneuvers of the F-45. Imagine it like an AI weapons officer operating at the speed of thought. The F-45's missile loadout gets even more interesting. In the air-to-air configuration, it carries 6 AIM-260G ATM missiles, the latest long-range air-to-air missile from the US. But here's what keeps enemy pilots awake at night. The F-45's AI combat system can track and engage multiple targets simultaneously, calculating interception solutions faster than the blink of a pilot's eye. What's truly fascinating is how these weapons are carried. 3 internal weapon bays, 1 large bay under the fuselage, and 2 smaller ones behind the engine intakes, keep everything concealed until it's time to strike. Its versatility redefines aerial warfare, and the F-45 Condor's 3-threat configuration proves this. Imagine this. During an air superiority mission, intelligence suddenly detects ground targets. While previous fighter jets would need to land and reconfigure, the F-45 can change its combat role mid-flight. The air-to-air weapon loadout shows overwhelming power. 6 AIM-260J ATM missiles hidden in the internal bays. These aren't just missiles, they're networked weapons capable of sharing data between them, making evasion nearly impossible. But let's see what happens when the mission changes. Switch to the air-to-ground configuration, and the F-45 transforms into a precision strike platform. 3 AGM-260 missiles remain for self-defense, while 3 AGM-158 JASSM missiles turn this air superiority fighter into a nightmare for any ground commander. Each JASSM missile can strike targets over 600 miles away, far beyond the range at which most radar systems can detect the Condor. Think about that capability for a moment, an aircraft that can achieve air superiority, strike ground targets, or neutralize naval threats. Now consider the price tag of $715 million. Critics call this price exorbitant, double that of the F-35. But what they're overlooking is that each F-45 Condor can perform the missions of 3 specialized aircraft. You realize that a single Condor replaces multiple platforms, each of which has its own maintenance crew, supply chain, and training requirements. The math suddenly changes. But there's another factor no one's talking about. Why is the Pentagon investing such a large amount for only 35 aircraft? The answer directly relates to the extremely classified capabilities of the F-45, things that make this price tag look like a bargain. Because what we are about to reveal about the F-45's advanced systems will change everything we've ever known about aerial warfare. What makes the $750 million F-45 Condor a bargain for the Pentagon? Leave a comment with your thoughts after watching this video. Shah. The future of aerial warfare goes beyond the line between science fiction and reality. with the 6th-generation F-45 Condor being just the beginning of an unprecedented arms race, forcing Russia and China to scramble. Traditional fighter jets rely on shape and materials to achieve stealth. However, the F-45 Condor has completely redefined this concept by bending the laws of physics. Its plasma stealth technology generates an electromagnetic field surrounding the aircraft, actively manipulating radar waves. When these waves hit the plasma shield, they don't just reflect, they actually disappear. This presents an unprecedented challenge for Russian and Chinese radar operators. Their most sophisticated detection systems become useless against something that could be considered an invisible predator in the skies. Inside the cockpit, a revolution is taking place through the F-45's AI-assisted combat system. This advanced computer processes battlefield data at speeds that make human reaction times seem primitive. While enemy pilots struggle to assess their situation, the F-45's AI has already analyzed hundreds of potential responses and selected the optimal strategy. This creates an unbeatable advantage in combat scenarios where split-second decisions determine survival. Imagine a typical combat scenario. An enemy formation of fighter jets appears from a distance. While their pilots take several milliseconds to recognize the situation, the F-45's AI has already completed a comprehensive tactical analysis. It identifies the enemy's radar signatures, analyzes their flight patterns, calculates the perfect attack angle, predicts an escape route, and creates full strike solutions. This system not only assists, but also predicts combat moves before they occur, suggesting strategies that even the most experienced human pilots have never considered. What truly sends shivers down foreign military planners' spines is the F-45's AI's ability to adapt and learn. This AI system evolves and improves after each combat engagement, becoming harder to predict and more lethal. While Russia's Su-57s and China's J-20s operate with static software, the F-45 develops new tactics and strategies with each flight, widening the capability gap between it and potential adversaries. Military analysts around the world are grappling with an uncomfortable question. If these revealed capabilities already show superior dominance, what are the remaining secret features of the F-45? The answer lies in even more astonishing technological breakthroughs, pushing the boundaries of aerial warfare to new heights. The technological supremacy of the F-45 Condor is not only confined to conventional weapons, but extends to systems that transcend modern warfare. Pentagon insiders hint at directed energy weapons, transforming this aircraft into something unprecedented, a fighter jet capable of intercepting threats at the speed of light. These aren't the experimental laser systems from decades ago. They are fully operational weapons capable of tracking targets and neutralizing missiles or enemy aircraft before traditional defenses can detect the threat. Think about the strategic implications. While Russia and China's air defense systems focus on countering conventional missiles, the F-45 approaches silently with weapons that cannot be jammed, evaded, or blocked. Directed energy systems draw power directly from the aircraft's advanced engines, providing nearly unlimited firing capabilities compared to traditional munitions. This system draws energy directly from the F-45's advanced engines, ensuring a stable and powerful energy supply. Using engine power minimizes the need to carry munitions, as the laser system can operate continuously without worrying about running out of supplies. This provides a crucial advantage. The F-45 can sustain attacks over extended periods without facing issues of weapon depletion, unlike traditional aircraft that rely on limited munitions and bombs. The directed energy system also provides the ability to fire almost without limits, something traditional fighter jets cannot match. By integrating with advanced turbofan engines, the F-45 can maximize the energy extracted from its engines to power the weapons systems. The ability to fire continuously not only enhances its offensive capability, but also reduces the need to alter tactics when ammunition runs out. The F-45 can maintain an uninterrupted assault throughout a campaign without needing to return to base for rearming. This capability completely changes the dynamics of aerial battles. Perhaps the most concerning aspect for foreign military strategists is the F-45's optional unmanned configuration. This isn't simple remote control. It's fully automated operation driven by quantum computing. The aircraft can seamlessly switch between piloted and unmanned modes, even during a mission. In high-risk operations, the F-45 can infiltrate heavily defended airspace without putting a pilot's life in danger, performing complex mission objectives with machine-like precision. Its integrated sensor system represents another major leap forward. With its ability to switch to unmanned mode, the F-45 can penetrate highly hazardous areas, conduct attack or reconnaissance missions without being detected. The integrated sensor system represents another huge leap. The F-45 features not only long-range radar, but also an optical and infrared sensor system, allowing it to detect targets under all weather conditions, both day and night. These sensors can operate simultaneously, providing a comprehensive view of the battlefield and allowing the aircraft to identify potential threats before they can act. Additionally, the F-45's sensor system can link with other units within the formation, sharing intelligence data and helping build more effective combat tactics. When integrated with the AI combat system, these sensors can automatically adjust attack modes while evaluating alternative approaches should the enemy's tactics change. This creates a synchronized combat system, optimizing the F-45's response capability in any situation. Unlike the basic data integration found in Russia's Su-57s or China's J-20s, the F-45 creates a dynamic and accurate picture of the battlefield. Each sensor, from radar to infrared to quantum detection networks, feeds data into an AI-controlled neural network. This network doesn't just collect data, it understands it, predicts patterns, and identifies threats before they form. But here's what really keeps foreign intelligence agencies working tirelessly. The F-45's sensors don't operate in isolation. Each Condor acts as a node in a larger network, sharing and processing data with other aircraft, satellites, and ground stations in real time. This creates an unprecedented level of battlefield awareness, leaving potential adversaries fighting blind. The true power of these systems only reveals itself when they operate in concert. Imagine a scenario where the F-45 sensor network detects a threat. The AI immediately calculates an attack solution, and the directed energy weapons neutralize the target, all while keeping the aircraft invisible to enemy radar. The combination of these capabilities doesn't just change the rules of combat, it actually rewrites the entire playbook for aerial warfare. However, military analysts suspect that even these revelations only scratch the surface of the full potential the F-45 possesses. The F-45 Condor has changed the landscape of aerial warfare, but what we know so far is only the tip of the iceberg. What do you think is the real secret feature that's keeping adversaries up at night? Share your guesses in the comments below. As tensions escalate in critical strategic regions, both Russia and China are facing an uncomfortable reality. How do you deal with an enemy that can see everything, think faster than human pilots, and strike with weapons your defense systems can't block? The arrival of the F-45 Condor is completely reshaping the global air power landscape in ways that military strategists are still struggling to comprehend. This isn't just about technological superiority, it's a profound shift in how aerial warfare will be conducted in the decades to come. Consider the current balance of air power. For decades, the United States has maintained its edge through superior technology and training. However, the F-45 Condor brings capabilities that far exceed these standards, making traditional factors in combat increasingly irrelevant. When an aircraft can combine plasma stealth, AI combat systems, and directed energy weapons, the concept of air superiority needs to be redefined. The strategic impact becomes even clearer when we look at specific scenarios in the Pacific region, where China heavily relies on space defense systems and long-range missiles. The F-45's ability to penetrate these defense systems without detection while performing autonomous missions has created an unprecedented strategic advantage. Chinese military planners are now confronted with an adversary that can strike anywhere, at any time, without warning. Russia's position seems to be growing more vulnerable. Their traditional strategy of overwhelming opponents with superior force and complex space defense systems now appears increasingly fragile. The maneuverability of the Su-57 holds little value against an enemy that can strike beyond visual range with directed energy weapons. Russian military analysts are facing a bitter reality. Their most advanced fighter might be obsolete before it even achieves full operational capability. And China are worried about the F-45 Condor. Will their efforts to modernize their military forces be able to keep up with this superior technology? Which country do you think can create a viable counter to the F-45 the fastest? Share your thoughts. This strategic upheaval has forced both countries to reassess their military modernization programs. Intelligence reports indicate that Russia has redirected a significant amount of resources toward developing new detection systems, particularly technologies aimed at countering plasma stealth. But the crucial question remains, how do you defend against technology that is a generation ahead of your current capabilities? China's response reveals even deeper concerns. Recent satellite images show increased activity at their quantum research facilities, suggesting a desperate race to develop countermeasures against the F-45's advanced systems. However, developing equivalent technology is not just a matter of resources. It involves breakthroughs in multiple advanced technological fields simultaneously. The true strategic impact of the F-45 extends beyond its military advantage. Its existence forces adversaries to allocate massive resources to defensive measures, creating an arms race that they may not be able to win. But what happens when these countries realize that conventional responses might not be enough? The impact of the F-45 Condor is especially clear in critical strategic regions, where air superiority can directly influence geopolitical stability. In Eastern Europe, the presence of a fleet of F-45s would completely alter NATO's defensive calculations. The Baltic states, once vulnerable, would now be under an aerial stealth umbrella that Russian ground forces couldn't penetrate. This would shift the entire regional power dynamic, forcing Moscow to reconsider any potential invasion plans. The South China Sea brings an even stronger shift. China's strategy of coverage through artificial island bases and integrated air defense networks now seems weakened. The F-45's ability to operate undetected in areas once considered impregnable will disrupt years of China's military strategy. An F-45 could neutralize multiple J-20s while remaining invisible to radar, controlling vast, contested airspace. Perhaps the most intriguing aspect is the limited production of the F-45, only 35 units. While this might seem like a small number, it's actually a brilliant strategic move. Each F-45 costs up to $715 million, nearly 3 times the price of an F-35. However, this pricing doesn't account for one crucial factor: the psychological impact of uncertainty. When potential adversaries can't detect or track these aircraft, 35 planes could be perceived as 350. Each unidentified radar target could be an F-45, forcing enemies to allocate resources to counter these ghosts. Imagine you're a military strategist facing the F-45 Condor operating in your area. What defensive strategy would you deploy to deal with this ghost in the sky? Share your plan in the comments below. This production limitation also signals a revolutionary change in military doctrine. Traditional thinking emphasizes quantity, the ability to sustain continuous air patrols across multiple theaters. The F-45 represents a different philosophy: strategic pressure through technological superiority. A small number of extremely powerful aircraft deployed unpredictably creates a greater strategic impact than large fleets of traditional fighter jets. Approach changes how potential conflicts might unfold in the future. Rather than large air battles involving dozens of planes, future encounters could be decided by just a few F-45s, slowly dismantling the opponent's air defense systems and command structure. Psychological impact on opposing pilots. Knowing they are facing an enemy they can't detect, track, or fight effectively becomes a key factor in achieving victory beyond mere numbers. The question isn't whether 35 F-45s will be enough, but whether any current generation fighter jets could effectively deal with a Condor. Awareness places potential adversaries in an unsolvable predicament. How do you defend against a threat you can't find? Fight with capabilities you don't understand, in numbers you can't verify. The F-45 Condor makes aerial warfare obsolete, and by 2036, with just 35 of these aircraft, it will completely shift the military balance, forcing adversaries to confront capabilities they can't even detect. Each new F-45 will integrate advanced technology, maintaining America's advantage in an ever-changing battlefield. This is no longer about numbers, but about invisible dominance. An F-45, with its AI systems and directed energy weapons, can control vast airspace while remaining invisible. For global security, the message is clear. When potential adversaries can't detect or strike their opponent, the calculus for military invasion completely changes. The F-45 not only prevents conflict, but also ensures stability through technological superiority. In an era of rising tensions, this silent guardian is America's commitment to maintaining peace through unrivaled air power. Under the shadows of the most secretive military facilities, the US Air Force is quietly developing a weapons system that will change warfare forever. But this is not just a new fighter jet. This is a weapons system so advanced that it forces military leaders to rethink everything they thought they knew about aerial combat. On June 13, 2024, General David Vinn, Chief of Staff of the US Air Force, took the stage at a long-awaited military conference. What he said next sent shockwaves through the defense community. Discussions are still ongoing, and we are considering many difficult options that must be weighed carefully. His words, laden with mystery, were not just about budget issues or delays in the program, but about a breakthrough development we could never have imagined. The US Air Force is quietly developing a 7th-generation fighter jet, an advanced weapon that could completely alter the course of aerial warfare. What you're about to discover is not just about supersonic speeds or stealth capabilities, but a revolutionary weapon that could render all modern fighter jets obsolete overnight. Why is this development being kept secret? We will unlock that secret door right here, only on the Navy Power Channel. The evolution of fighter jets is a story of relentless innovation. The F-22 and F-35 pushed the limits of military capability to new heights, bringing 5th-generation capabilities like stealth, integrated sensors, and super fuel-efficient flight. However, in a rapidly changing aerial warfare environment, even these advanced fighter jets are just the beginning. Currently, the US Air Force's Next Generation Air Dominance (NGAD) program represents the pinnacle of 6th-generation technology, featuring a flexible airframe design, long-range sensor capabilities, and directed energy weapons. Between 2020 and 2023, at least 3 secret technology prototypes took to the skies, delivering performance that has been described as unbelievable. But even though these prototypes proved their value, the Air Force leadership made a bold decision. Instead of continuing with the full development of the NGAD program, they shifted focus to a more ambitious goal. They realized that the pace of technological advancement was not only accelerating, but also completely changing what a fighter jet could do. The question was no longer, how do we build a better aircraft? But rather, how do we create an entirely new weapon system? The reason for this shift was not a choice, but a necessity. As America's adversaries develop increasingly sophisticated defense systems, even 6th-generation fighter jet designs may no longer be powerful enough. The Air Force needed something that goes beyond the limits of aerial warfare. something that combines unprecedented speed, lethality, and features that until now have only existed in science fiction stories. What they are developing now is not just a step forward in the evolution of fighter jets, but a revolutionary leap that could make even sixth-generation fighter jet concepts seem outdated before they even take off. The US Air Force has always led the way in breaking the boundaries of aviation, but what they are doing now will even surprise the most experienced pilots. The US Air Force is rumored to be developing an extremely advanced and secretive seventh-generation fighter jet, which could completely change the landscape of aerial warfare. While details about this project have not been publicly released, rumors and speculation suggest that this fighter jet will feature a range of breakthrough technologies, giving the USF a superior combat advantage. One of the anticipated features is that this fighter jet will be equipped with even more advanced stealth technology, combining shape, special materials, and electromagnetic technologies to make it nearly undetectable by enemy radar. Additionally, the ability to operate autonomously, or potentially without a pilot, is also considered a potential feature, allowing the fighter jet to operate more flexibly in combat missions, whether piloted by a human or fully automated with AI support. Furthermore, this fighter jet could be designed to reach hypersonic speeds, over Mach 5, enabling it to drastically shorten reaction times and enhance its ability to move rapidly across the globe. This not only boosts its superior capability in aerial combat, but also extends its operational range, allowing it to strike enemy strategic targets from very long distances. Another standout feature on this seventh-generation fighter jet may be the integration of artificial intelligence, AI, which would analyze vast amounts of battlefield data, assist pilots in decision-making, and optimize combat capabilities. While other nations are still struggling to make drones fly at such incredible speeds, the US Air Force is taking it a step further. They are developing ways for our brave pilots to actually fly these aircraft at such mind-blowing speeds. But it's not just about flying fast. The important thing is that the US can reach any point on the globe in just a few minutes. Enemy defense systems simply won't have time to react. The technology that allows pilots to fly at these impressive speeds also protects them from extreme temperatures and pressure, conditions that would have previously made flying at such speeds impossible. What's notable is that the US Air Force isn't just copying what others have done, they're creating something entirely new. American innovation, which helped us win World War II and land a man on the moon, is now breaking down barriers that many once thought were insurmountable. Whenever someone says something can't be done, our scientists and engineers find a way. It's not just about building a faster plane, we're revolutionizing what's possible in the skies. So, what do you think about these groundbreaking advances? Will rival nations be able to catch up? Or will the US Air Force continue to hold the lead in the future? Share your thoughts with us in the comments below this video. For the first time in history, we're witnessing a fighter jet capable of something extraordinary, flying beyond the edge of space. This is no longer science fiction, it's the very goal the US Air Force is working toward right now. But the real excitement starts here. In the 1960s, the US Air Force tested a similar project with the X-20 Dinosaur program. However, they had to cancel it because the technology at the time wasn't ready. More than 60 years later, an incredible breakthrough in cooling systems and new materials has changed everything. Our engineers have finally found solutions to the problems that once held us back. Additionally, this fighter jet is expected to feature a next-generation sensor and radar system, integrating data from various sources, from satellites to other aircraft, providing a real-time, comprehensive view of the battlefield. Another potential feature could be the integration of directed energy weapons, DEWs, such as lasers, capable of disabling missiles, drones, or enemy targets from long distances without using traditional munitions. Think about this for our defense. This fighter jet won't just patrol our skies, it could also protect our satellites, These satellites help us with GPS, weather tracking, and keep our phones working. While other nations are developing methods to attack these satellites, we will have the ability to defend them. But what's even more amazing is that these fighter jets won't just be designed to protect satellites, they'll also be capable of intercepting missiles threatening our nation. In addition to offensive technologies, this 7th-generation fighter jet will also have multi-role capabilities, able to carry out missions ranging from air superiority, ground attacks, to intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance (ISR), making it a versatile and effective tool in any situation. Finally, the use of advanced propulsion systems will not only enable this fighter jet to move at high speeds, but also improve fuel efficiency and maneuverability in all combat conditions. With such advanced technologies and potential, this 7th-generation fighter jet is expected to provide the US Air Force with a major strategic advantage, helping to counter the growing threats from countries like China and Russia, who are also heavily investing in next-generation fighter technologies. However, due to the secretive nature of the project, most information about this fighter jet remains speculative, and we'll have to wait and see if these features become a reality in the future. Imagine a fighter jet that can fly into space and shoot down enemy missiles with pinpoint accuracy, using advanced laser systems. And, just when you think you've heard it all, there's one more incredible feature. The US Air Force's research labs have quietly been developing a technology that will allow these fighter jets to operate both in the atmosphere and in space. This is such a significant breakthrough that it has forced military strategists to rewrite America's defense strategies. Some skeptics claim that operating in both air and space is impossible, but recent, top-secret tests have proven the opposite. Not only is it feasible, but it's even more powerful than anyone imagined. It's no longer just about owning the most powerful fighter jet. Now we're talking about an entirely new defense system that could protect America from threats we previously couldn't counter. But what really makes this fighter jet a game changer? Its weapons. The US Air Force isn't just equipping this jet with conventional missiles. They've added powerful laser weapons, the kind you'd only see in action movies. But the difference is, they're no longer science fiction. Think about this. Traditional fighter jets can only carry a limited number of missiles, and when they run out, it's time to return. But with these new laser weapons, they never run out of ammo as long as the jet has enough power. It's like having an infinite ammo supply in your gun. The US Air Force has tested these laser weapons, and the results have been incredible. But what's truly fascinating is that recently, a breakthrough in energy generation has changed everything. Scientists have figured out how to make these lasers powerful enough to shoot down incoming missiles, something that just a few years ago, everyone thought was impossible. What's particularly remarkable is that these lasers are precise enough to target specific parts of enemy aircraft or missiles. They can neutralize the threat without completely destroying it, something we've never been able to do before. And they do it at the speed of light. No warning, no time to react, no way to dodge. Just when you think you've heard it all about these weapons, the US Air Force reveals another capability. These aren't just offensive weapons, they also create an invisible shield around our aircraft. Any missile or threat will be detected and neutralized before it even gets close to the pilot. Another important feature this 7th-generation US Air Force, USAF, fighter jet may have is the ability to interact seamlessly with other combat systems, forming part of a comprehensive networked combat system. With the development of command and control C2 systems, this fighter jet won't just operate independently, it will be able to connect and share information with other aircraft, warships, satellites, and ground units, creating a more effective, coordinated combat force. This system will enhance target identification, coordination of operations, and flexible tactics deployment, optimizing combat effectiveness in complex scenarios. Additionally, a key feature of this fighter jet could be its self-repair or in-flight maintenance capabilities. Automation technologies and sensors will allow the fighter jet to detect damage or malfunctions during flight and perform minor repairs, reducing disruptions during combat. The 7th-generation USAF fighter jet could also be equipped with ultra-precision weapons capable of destroying targets from long distances without having to get close. Guided missiles and bombs could utilize advanced guidance technologies, ensuring near-perfect targeting accuracy, minimizing collateral damage, and enhancing attack effectiveness. An indispensable factor is its ability to operate in electronic warfare environments. With the rapid advancement of electronic warfare technology, this 7th-generation fighter jet won't just have strong defense capabilities against jamming and electronic attack systems, it will also be able to counterattack enemy systems, neutralizing their radar and air defense networks. This will allow the USAF to maintain dominance in increasingly complex combat environments and use cyber warfare tactics to break through enemy defenses. If you're as amazed as we are by the advancements in US military technology, type "proud" in the comments below. We'd love to hear your thoughts on these incredible steps forward in protecting our nation's skies. But perhaps the most impressive part of everything we've shared is that what we've told you is only what's been made public. Military experts believe the secret capabilities of these weapons could far exceed what we know. And this is where the US Air Force's new weapon system becomes truly terrifying for the enemy. They've not only equipped this fighter jet with advanced AI, but they've created something that can think and react faster than any pilot could. This isn't just a regular computer system. This is military-grade artificial intelligence, capable of making decisions in the blink of an eye. Imagine, this fighter jet's AI can detect and track hundreds of threats at once. While a human pilot might be overwhelmed trying to track them all, this system can analyze each threat and decide how to react in less time than it takes to blink. It's like having a team of the world's best pilots, weapons officers, and combat experts, all packed into one aircraft. So, what do you think of these advances? Could we create a new generation of aircraft that overcomes all challenges and protects our nation from any threat? Share your thoughts with us right below this video. What really makes this system revolutionary? The US Air Force has quietly tested a capability where these fighter jets can actually learn during battle. Every time they encounter a new threat or tactic, they can adapt and become even more dangerous. It's like having a fighter jet that gets stronger with every minute it spends in the air. The real breakthrough came when they figured out how to combine human intuition with machine precision. AI doesn't replace our pilots, it's a powerful tool to support them. While pilots focus on the bigger mission, the AI will automatically handle threats. Enemy missiles coming in? AI will take care of it. Enemy fighters closing in? The AI already has a plan. What's most astonishing is that in secret tests, this system did something that even its creators found incredible. It developed entirely new combat tactics that human pilots had never even considered. Maneuvers that humans can't execute but are highly effective in battle. This isn't just a technological advancement, it's a revolution in aerial warfare. What's concerning for opponents is that this AI can communicate with other jets instantly, meaning a group of these fighter jets could coordinate perfectly, like a swarm of heavily armed smart fighters, all attacking together with pinpoint accuracy. The enemy air forces have nothing close to this capability. This isn't just about having powerful weapons or faster aircraft. It's about owning a fighter jet that can think, learn, and fight in ways that were previously unimaginable. And this is why military experts are calling this the most terrifying weapon system ever developed for aerial combat. The latest stealth technology from the US Air Force has taken the concept of invisibility to an entirely new level. The breakthroughs they've achieved aren't just improvements, they're a complete transformation of what we thought was possible in stealth technology. Traditional stealth aircraft like the F-22 and F-35 can hide from radar, but this new fighter jet does something far more impressive. By using groundbreaking materials developed in the Air Force's secret labs, this aircraft can virtually disappear from all detection bands. Radar, infrared, visual, it can't be reliably tracked by anything. Something miraculous happened in recent secret tests when they tried to track this aircraft with the most advanced detection systems available. The sensors not only struggled to find it, they couldn't even distinguish this aircraft from the empty sky. This kind of stealth was considered impossible just a few years ago. The breakthrough came from an unexpected source. Scientists studying how certain deep-sea creatures can change their shape discovered something extraordinary. This led to the development of a new type of smart skin for the aircraft, capable of adapting to its surroundings. Imagine a chameleon, but much more sophisticated and working at the molecular level. What makes this technology particularly terrifying for opponents is how it integrates with other capabilities of the fighter jet. A jet that can move at hypersonic speeds, attack with precise laser weapons, and still remain completely undetectable. Military strategists are still trying to figure out how to defend against something like this. Even more impressive is that this stealth system requires almost no maintenance, unlike current stealth coatings that need continuous care. This is no longer experimental technology. It's ready for real-world combat operations. The engineers behind this system say they've only scratched the surface of what's possible. For anyone who thinks they fully understand stealth technology, this fighter jet is about to change everything. Speaking of the real power of this fighter jet, its engine is unlike anything we've ever seen before. The brilliant American engineers have created an engine that can take our pilots from regular flight to the edge of space. Remember when breaking the sound barrier was a big deal? Now this new engine makes that seem small. The US Air Force has figured out how to build an engine that can operate at speeds where normally any metal we use would melt. This is the brilliance of American ingenuity. The real magic happens when this engine changes during flight. Just like shifting gears in a car to go faster, this engine actually alters how it operates when it needs to fly to the edge of space. No other country has figured out how to do this. The engineers who achieved this come from a great tradition that helped America win World War II and send our astronauts to the moon. They solved what everyone said was impossible: how to keep an engine cool at speeds that could melt steel. They invented an intelligent cooling system so advanced that at first, even other experts didn't believe it would work. This will certainly make any American proud. In testing, this engine performed better than anyone expected. The test pilots, many of whom are veterans with decades of experience, said they had never seen anything like it. One veteran pilot said it felt like he was going from riding a bicycle to piloting a spaceship. And when other countries thought they were catching up with our technology, the US Air Force revealed another breakthrough. This engine can switch from air breathing to space breathing mode in just a few seconds. This means our pilots can fly from regular airspace to the edge of space and back in a single mission. It's like having an aircraft and a spacecraft in the same body. What's incredible is that this isn't just a laboratory test, it's a working engine, being built right here in the US by American workers using American technology. This is yet another example of how our military and industry work together to create the best equipment in the world for our brave service members. Think about it. From the first flight at Kitty Hawk to breaking the sound barrier, America has always been at the forefront of aviation. Now, with this engine, we're not just taking another step forward, we're leaping into the future of aviation. What makes the weapons of this fighter jet truly frightening isn't just their power, it's how they operate together as part of a connected combat network. Imagine it as the pilot's sixth sense, but stronger than anything we've ever seen before. Every fighter jet in the group can instantly share what it sees and knows with all the others. If one jet detects a threat, every other jet knows immediately. It's like having eyes everywhere at once. During flight tests, this system detected and tracked more threats than a traditional squadron of fighter jets. Something unexpected happened in recent war games that made everyone take notice. When they tested this network with our current systems, it didn't just win, it changed the game. the system figured out attack coordination that even the veteran pilots involved in the design couldn't have imagined. Imagine a chess grandmaster who can see 20 moves ahead, but at the speed of light. The brain of this weapon system can pull information from everywhere: satellites in the sky, warships at sea, ground-based radars, even from other aircraft. But what really scares our adversaries is the ability to process all this information instantly. What once took an analysis room hours to decode, this system can do in just a few milliseconds. And here's the truly interesting part. In secret tests, they discovered that this network can do something unprecedented: predict where the threat will come from before it even arrives. It's like having a time machine that lets you see what the enemy will do before they do it. This technology is so advanced that test pilots have said it feels like the aircraft can read their minds before they even finish forming the intention of what to do. One test pilot said it felt like having 100 pilots working together, all operating flawlessly. What makes this truly revolutionary is how it turns each fighter jet into a command center in itself. If any part of the network is disabled, the rest continues to function. The entire system can't be destroyed, it just keeps adapting and fighting. For anyone facing these fighter jets in combat, it's the worst nightmare imaginable. A weapon system that's always one step ahead, impossible to deceive, and never losing track of its target. When it comes to protecting our pilots, the US Air Force has created something extraordinary. This fighter jet doesn't just evade threats, it creates an invisible shield that makes it nearly invulnerable in combat. And this is what makes it one of the most terrifying defense systems ever created. This fighter jet has a special trick. It can stop hypersonic missiles instantly. Until now, everyone said hypersonic weapons were undetectable, too fast, and too maneuverable. But our engineers figured it out. They created a system that can track and destroy hypersonic missiles before they get close. In a recent demonstration that left military officials stunned, this system faced multiple simultaneous threats: conventional missiles, hypersonic weapons, electronic attacks, everything they threw at it. The result: no threat got through. A senior military official called it the closest thing to an Iron Man suit that we've ever built for our pilots. The electronic warfare capabilities of this system go far beyond anything we've seen. Instead of just jamming the enemy's radar and communications, this system can send false information to the enemy's sensors. Imagine trying to attack a target when you can't trust anything your equipment is telling you. That's what our adversaries will face. What really makes this defense system stand out is its ability to learn. Every time it faces a new threat, the system gets better at stopping it. In tests, they tried to find new ways to breach its defenses, but like a legendary boxer, it adapted to every new attack. The more they threw at it, the stronger it became. This has certainly caught everyone's attention. This system doesn't just protect itself, it also protects other nearby aircraft. It's like having an extended protective bubble to shield our other pilots. For the first time, we have a fighter jet that not only defends itself, but can protect the entire formation. This isn't just about having better armor or faster reactions. It's about creating a defense system so advanced and so comprehensive that it completely changes the concept of aerial combat. When you combine this with its offensive capabilities, you'll start to understand why military experts are calling this the most terrifying weapon system ever developed. What does this mean for America's position as the world's leading military power? Let me tell you, it changes everything. It's no longer just about having the best fighter jet, it's about ensuring that America remains strong and safe for generations to come. Remember how the B-2 bomber and the F-22 Raptor changed warfare when they first appeared? Now, the US Air Force has done it again, but this time on a whole new level. This weapon system doesn't just stay ahead of the competition, it leaps ahead, and that's exactly what we need in today's world. Think about this for our brave soldiers. Over the years, our pilots have always been the best in the world. Now, we're giving them technology that makes them nearly unbeatable. As one veteran pilot once said, "This isn't just about raising the standard, It's about creating an entirely new game. This is something every American can be proud of. When news of this capability started leaking out, other nations couldn't believe what we had achieved. Some said it was impossible, while others said it would take them decades to catch up. That's the kind of technological advantage America needs to ensure the safety of the nation. What's most impressive is that this system doesn't just help us win battles, it prevents them from starting in the first place. When potential adversaries realize how far ahead we've gone, they'll be less likely to stir up trouble. As President Reagan once said, "Peace through strength." This is exactly what he was talking about. Our military leaders say this fighter jet doesn't just protect the US, it protects our allies as well. It sends a clear message to anyone thinking about threatening peace: don't try it. We have the technology, we have the pilots, and we have the resolve to keep the skies safe. Just like the great generation that stepped up with incredible technology to win World War II, the Air Force today is ensuring that America will always be strong and free. This is not just about having the most terrifying weapon system ever created, but about ensuring that we never have to use it. That's the American way, strong enough that no one dares to provoke us. Everything we've shown you today, hypersonic flight, laser weapons, artificial intelligence, stealth technology, all of it is coming together in one fantastic package. But what's truly remarkable is that the Air Force has done what many thought was impossible. They've made all these revolutionary systems work perfectly together. Think about this: a fighter jet that can fly at hypersonic speeds while staying invisible to radar, shoot down incoming missiles with a laser, operate in space, and think faster than any pilot could. And that's just what we're allowed to reveal. As a senior defense official recently suggested, the secret capabilities of this system will make you feel like you're reading science fiction. The time to witness these fighter jets in action is one of the most closely guarded secrets of the Air Force. But we know one thing: flight testing has begun. Those strange lights people have reported seeing in the night sky, now you know what they might be. What we're witnessing isn't just the next chapter in military aviation, it's completely rewriting the book. This weapon system doesn't just change how we fight wars, it changes whether we even need to fight them at all. When you possess technology this advanced, when you have such overwhelming potential, potential adversaries will think twice before stirring up trouble. As we end this amazing story of American ingenuity and military strength, think about the long road we've traveled from the Wright brothers to this new fighter jet. America has always led the way in aviation, and from what we've seen today, that tradition is stronger than ever. And don't forget, if you're a fan of American military aviation and want to continue following these incredible developments, join our community at Navy Power. Hit subscribe below, you won't want to miss any updates. If you're proud of American ingenuity, don't forget to give us a thumbs up and share this video with anyone who needs to know about the power of the US Air Force.